All right, this is station one. I'm going to go over all of your worksheets that you have in this packet. You need to make sure that you write down all the work. First thing I want to point out is the packet is stapled out of order, so make sure that we are on the homework one option. It says simplifying expressions at the top. I'm going to do a couple of these with you, and then I'll show you how to solve the puzzle at the bottom. All right, so first thing we want to do is combine our like terms. If you notice, these are expressions, they're not equations, so there's no equal sign here. We just need to combine like terms. So all of these have an x, so I'm just going to go from left to right and solve these out. So 4 minus 2 gives me 2x, and then I'm going to bring down that minus 20x, so just bring this down. 2 take away 20 gives me negative 18x, and then I'm going to add this 1x on the end, and it's 1x because there's an invisible 1 in front of it. Negative 18 plus 1 gives me the answer of negative 17x. Now to do the puzzle at the bottom, you're going to look for your answer, which I can see my answer is right here, negative 17x. It represents by the letter R. And then I'm going to come down here and find the number 1 and put an R next to it. Now, what I recommend doing is doing all of your math problems first and then do the puzzle at the end. All right, let's look at this next one. I have some here without a variable and 2 here with a variable. But the one thing I notice is this is a negative 4/7 and this is a positive 4/7. So those actually cancel each other out. So now I'm just going to solve these. So I'm going to say 2 over 7 minus 14. Now I need a common denominator, so I'm going to go ahead and use this denominator here of 7. But if I change the bottom, I have to change the top. So I'm going to multiply the top by 7 as well. Okay, so we wind up with 2 over 7 minus 98 over 7. Denominators are the same, so they stay the same. And 2 minus 98 gives me a negative 96. Now I can tell right now, I can look down at my answers, there's not a negative 96 over 7. So obviously they want me to put this back into mixed fraction form. So 7 goes into 96. 13 times is the closest, leaving you with the remainder of 5, and the denominator stays the same of 7. So final answer is negative 13 and 5/7 x. Then we're going to go to number 3. Number 3 here, I see that I have some numbers with an x and some numbers without an x. So I'm going to take care of the ones without an x first. I'm going to say 7 minus 15, and I get a negative 8. So those ones are done. And now I'm going to do the ones with an x, my coefficients. So negative 9x plus 12x. So negative 9 plus 12 is going to give me 3x. So let's put this all together. Final answer is 3x minus 8. I'm going to let you do numbers 4 and 5. I'm going to jump down here and do number 6 real quick. So I can tell that they all have a variable, but we have some fractions, and I know that can be a little daunting. The first thing I want to do is turn this one into an improper fraction. So I'm going to do 6 times 12 plus 5, and that will give me 77 over 6. Then I have another fraction over here is the 1/6. So I'm going to, since they have the same denominator, I'm going to go ahead and combine them now and add that 1/6, leaving me with 78 over 6. Now I'm going to take care of this 14. And it's a negative 14 because if you see it's a subtraction here. Let me go ahead and get rid of my circle so you can see it a little better. It's a subtract 14, so I'm still going to subtract 14. But now I need a common denominator. So I'm going to use the denominator I already have, which is 6. But if I change the bottom, I have to change the top by the same amount, so I'm going to multiply those. So this becomes 78 over 6 minus 14 times 6 gives me 84 over 6. Denominators are the same, so they stay the same. And I'm going to do 78 minus 84 gives me negative 6. Well, 6 over 6 is 1, and a positive and a negative equals a negative. So my answer here is negative 1x Whoops, let's try that again. Got a little too close to the edge here. Negative 1x, but we don't really write negative 1x. We're just going to say negative x. All right, the last one I'm going to do with you is number 8. So again, I'm going to look for all of those variables. I only have 2 this time, so here we go. Let's take care of those. 3.75 minus 8.75 is going to leave me with a negative 5x. So now let's go ahead and do the ones without variables. So I have a negative 5. I have plus 4.5 plus 0.5. So you can even do this on your calculator. Negative 5, excuse me, plus 4.5 is going to give me a negative 0.5. And then if I add 0.5, these wind up canceling. So there is nothing extra here. We don't put plus 0. That just means this is my final answer, negative 5x. All right, so you can stop this video, finish it up, and then when you're ready, go on to the next video.